So let's welcome Gautam Bulchandani.
Thank you. Just go to the Menti. Just go to the Mentimeter, the second tab. Yeah, this is not just okay. It's okay.
We'll start.
Yeah. Just 2 minutes and I will start. Yeah. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gautam Bulchandani, and I'm a senior technology lead in horizontal from last 5 years, and I'm having total 15 plus years of experience in various Microsoft technologies, and in Sitecore I have 5 plus years of experience. So if you don't know about Sitecore is basically a CMS which gives you capability to create modern web applications. So because this is a React meetup, I won't much talk about Sitecore. So let's start with our first session. So it's just an ice-breaking session. So if you can open your mobile and just go to the menti.com. Ojas, can you click on the present? No, just click on present. Yeah. So open your mobile, go to the menti.com and just enter this code. I just want to know more about my audience, so that's why I'm asking few questions. These are not technical one, but just for the ice-breaking session. Good. Who's tech lead here? No one. Who's tech lead? Okay. QA. Who is from QA? Nice. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah. This one. Nice. Okay, most of the people are from Jaipur only.
This is pure React Rajasthan.
गोवा नहीं है Who's from Ranthambore? Nice. Okay, next slide. And read carefully. Only for 1 day. Only 1 day for DevOps? Who's this guy? Chef, nice. Do nothing. Cricketer expected, yes, Virat Kohli. What is cricketer OFC?
Of course.
Okay.
From IT office.
Chill. I mean, it's a profession. Artist, right? Next slide. Music, expected. Friends meet, very good. Movie, sleep, gaming, yeah. I'll go with sleep. Sleeping. Listening to bhajan. Okay, last one. एक और है. Yeah. I know many of you are developers. Shivam, mostly it will be na. Yeah?
I really want to see old ages people here. Yes.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, let's go to the slide.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with the the evolution of React. So raise your hand if you are agree with this slide. Okay, nice. So let's talk about the evolution of React. So when React was launched back in 2013, it was just browser-based UI library. But after a decade later, after 12 years, you can see React powers everything from Netflix, right? From Netflix to your CMS-driven interactive website. So over these past of years, 12 years, React has evolved, so much from being a browser-based UI library to a whole ecosystem. When I'm saying ecosystem, where you can create your digital web experiences. So let's time travel and back to the era of earlier React, which is 2013. How can I change this slide? I just need to change the next slide.
Yes, yes.
Just need to click this, right? Or maybe this one.
Both will work.
Both will work. So this one.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to 2013 when React was launched. So basically, it was built only for single page application. Do you know about single page application? What is SPA, right? So before React, how these traditional website used to work? Whenever you click on a link, right, on the navigation, browser sends your request to the server. Server renders the HTML and get back to the browser. So every time your page gets reloaded, right? But in case of single page application, your whole React, runs under one single page, which is index.html. So instead of calling server again and again for each navigation, your React app dynamically change the content of one particular page, right? So I mean, in that case, your page doesn't get refreshed for every, doesn't get reload for every navigation. So it was built for single page application. Of course, all rendering happened in the browser. Second, when they launched the React, there was no out of the box support for routing. Fourth one, heavy JS bundles. So what was happening, you get the blank index.html and you hydrate that. Basically, React hydrate that the page. Hydration means making it more interactive. So for this hydration, they need heavy JavaScript bundles, heavy JS bundle to download, which means slower initial load. So in the next slide, we'll see the challenges we faced in the earlier era of React. Slower first load, yes, because browser used to download heavy JS bundle, so it was a problem. Poor SEO, because from server we were getting empty index.html page. When page is empty, that is very bad for SEO, because your Google search engine, your Google bot doesn't get any content on the page, so that is very bad for poor for SEO. Router was not there, so you need to manually set up for the routing. Difficult to scale for large content sites. So for smaller apps, for smaller website, it was okay to create website, but for larger content site, it was not a good idea to create websites on React. Then here comes the evolution of React from single page application to server components. How many of you worked on server components? I think you. Okay. So as I said, now React is not a browser-based library. It's an ecosystem where you can create modern digital web applications. So Reacts keep adding new functionality. They kept improving themselves by launching new things like the rise of SSR and server components. Everybody knows about what is SSR? Yes. It is server-side component, server-side rendering. Sorry. So what SSR does, so I mean SSR was launched, Shivam, correct me if I'm wrong, it was launched 2014-15 I think, but became mainstream after React.
Yeah, once the node came into the picture,
yeah.
That day, 15 I guess.
15, yeah, and I think they became mainstream after Next.js, right? Yeah. So I'll talk about talk about the what is Next.js. So what SSR does, by using SSR, server can run your React code on backend. When I'm saying backend, which means Node.js server, and when I'm saying server, where your server is where your application is hosted. You can say Versal, right? So what was happening in this SSR? Your server renders page, get back to the browser, but that HTML is not all empty. So you were getting some content in your HTML, in your page. So it is okay for SEO because server is rendering the HTML. It was faster first paint, but still your browser, your React app was doing the hydrations. Hydrations means keeping it, making it interactive. So for that, they need to download the React.js bundle. Because of that, it was not, you can say the loading was not as, up to the mark. Then this React server component came to the picture where what was happening, that React server component, you can say they are using the same concept of SSR. It's a concept that built on top of the SSR. You can choose your component to be run on the server. In that case, hydration doesn't happen. No hydration happens, which means minimal JavaScript to be downloaded from browser, which means, faster first paint, better for SEO, plus, your first load is too fast. So still, they kept improving themselves, but still, creating a large web applications, was not a good idea with React alone, because, SEO was not up to the mark. Initial page load was still heavy. Setting up SSR only with, Node was complex, and developers were writing, same code again and again. So then here comes the savior, which is, Next.js. So Next.js, like there are other platforms as well, like Remix. I think. Do you know about Remix? Yeah. So now React. Now here comes the Next.js as savior. So Next.js is basically a framework which is built on top of React. So I would say Next.js is not replacing React, it empowers the React, right? So Next.js is basically the natural extension of React. Next slide. So why this matter, like why this Next.js matters with React? So if you are creating your website, React website with Next.js, you will definitely have a faster initial load, you will have the better SEO, simplified developer experience. How? So I mean, it is not mandatory to create React website with Next.js. You can create website in standalone React, you can deploy this to Vercel, but for this faster initial load, for better SEO, you need some customization, right? And when you do this customization, you will end up like creating your own framework just like Next.js. So Next.js is already providing these functionalities. So why not use Next.js rather than creating your own custom component and do customization. Seamless integration with API and CMS. I'll talk more about this API and CMS. We are using CMS with React and Next.js. How React powers Sitecore XM Cloud. So as a Sitecore guy, I'll talk a little about what is Sitecore and what is Sitecore XM Cloud. So as I said, Sitecore is basically a CMS, and by using this you can create a modern digital application. And what is Sitecore XM Cloud? So basically Sitecore is an ecosystem, and Sitecore XM Cloud is basically a product of Sitecore, a SaaS based product. It's a cloud-based CMS. Everybody knows about CMS. What is CMS, right? So Sitecore XM Cloud is basically SaaS-based CMS. Your whole CMS is hosted on cloud. So what we generally do in horizontal, as we mentioned that we work on the Sitecore stream. So what we generally do, React and Next is our front-end layer, right? We use XM Cloud as a CMS, and this XM Cloud provides API. From this API, you get the content from Sitecore and gives that content to the React and Next application, and you can create like fancy website with React Next.js. So in our case, developers build exactly same React component. From this component, they call the API from CMS and get the content. Okay, so this is the architecture, what we generally do. So if you see this red box is basically Sitecore, right? You can say Sitecore XM Cloud. Inside this box, you will see two different boxes. One is XM Cloud CM instance. So this is the instance where content authors enters the content, right? Once they enter the content, they publish it. The content goes to the Experience Edge. Experience Edge, what is Experience Edge? Experience Edge is part of this XM Cloud. It's basically our delivery platform where you can cache the content. So basically it's a CDN. So content authors enter the content in XM Cloud. They do publishing. Content goes to the Experience Edge CDN. Now this CDN provides you the API. So if you see that blue circle, this is our front-end layer. This is our front-end layer which we created with Next plus React and deployed to Vercel. This Next.js application, React application, calls the API, get the cache content, and serve to the our website. I can give you more. I can give you the real-world example how and what we are doing. So. As a senior technology lead, currently I am working with one of the UK client. So we are creating brand websites for this UK client, and these brand websites are similar to what we have in India, like Airbnb, right? For Airbnb, like with Airbnb, what you can do, you can go to the site, you can choose your property, you can choose your apartment and room, and you can book that, right? Similar to that, I mean, we are doing this for one of the our UK client. So if you see in the left hand side, we have a ERP solution, which is property management system. So all the properties, all the apartment data, all the rooms data, we are getting it from the ERP solution. This ERP gives us some API, right? So we can fetch that property data, their price and availability and everything. In the middle, you'll see there is a middleware, right? So middleware is basically created with Azure function. Do you know about Azure functions, right? So Azure function is basically a cloud-based, or you can say a code snippet which is deployed on cloud. So in our case, it's not a small code snippet, it's complex system. So what is the responsibility of this middleware? It's basically a scheduler. It calls the ERP, gets the property data, gets the price and availability, and push that data into the XM cloud. So basically XM cloud is our CMS, right? So it gets all the content, all the dynamic content, and push that data to the XM cloud. In XM cloud, we'll have this dynamic data plus we'll have the static content as well. When I'm saying static content, which means the fancy text of this property, fancy description of this property, we have fancy videos, fancy images. So everything, we kept in XM cloud, static plus dynamic. 80% of the data is static and 20% of data is dynamic. The responsibility of middleware is to get the content, push the content to the XM cloud and publish that also. So once that content is published, it goes to the experience edge. So this experience edge is again our, CDN, right? You can say CDN. And then we have this Next and React application as a front-end layer, right? Developers will create component, right? They'll keep calling the experience edge APIs, get the content, everything like price and availability, property data, room data, apartment data, and show it in a very fancy way on our front-end layer. So, I mean, this is very, I would say complex structure, but I simplified it just in 4 boxes. But it's the real world example. What we are doing with React Next plus XM Cloud. So I think, yeah, so in the last I would say, yes, React has grown up. So I'll again say it's not just a UI library, it's basically a mindset, right? So all you need to build an ecosystem. It's all about, creating an ecosystem, not just only component, right? So with that said, I think I'm done. And I hope this session gave you some, something like how, React evolved. It gave you some perception like how React evolves and, where it is, getting next with, of course, Next. So yeah, thank you and happy coding and happy reacting. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you, Gautam. It was quite a wonderful session. How many of you got something that what React can do now? Anything that you have got from this particular session? Raise your hand. Yes, sir.
I need the same function of server